What would you do if you lost 20 kilos in 6 weeks? Would you be over the moon? Would you be ecstatic? Would you be doing celebratory laps? Would you be chasing your best life? Would you be praising those who helped you get there? Or would you call it quits? So here's the weird dichotomy I have found of incredible results, of being, well, let's not put it modestly here, being fucking phenomenal at your job, is that it creates a false sense of accomplishment, of success, of what is required to get results. It creates this false dichotomy of what is achievable and what is normal. And I think this is part of what happens with yo-yo dieting, but I found it especially with a lot of my programming. And it puts me into this weird position of, do I dial back my program to like ensure that people continue on to continue getting results, or do I just accept that people will weed themselves out? They'll weed themselves out of the situations. And the answer I got to was that I'll just let people weed themselves out. But to give you some background, so I've had a guy recently go through my initial program, Chasing Greatness Daily. It's a 6-week program, gives you full workouts, it gives you the nutrition side, we get full in, and it focuses on the big 5 that we've spoken about many, many times before, but with the full-on accountability and the exact programming dialed in for you, right? So the main 5 are weighted walk for 45 minutes daily with 10% or more of your body weight. The weighted workout every single day, eating an animal-based diet, drinking 4 liters of water, and taking a daily photo. So they're the big 5. They're the main 5 that I built my program around. So this guy comes in, loved it. The commitment was on fucking point. Went all in, did the work, dropped 20 kilos in 6 weeks. 20 kilos. Like, that's fucking astronomical. It's so great. It's such great results. And so at the end of the 6 weeks, we have a discussion, and it's like, okay, so what are we going to do next? Here is what I recommend. And I have different options depending on where you're at on how you can proceed after that point. And to my shock, considering how great the results were, this guy turns around and goes, nah, I'm good. My goal was 5 kilos. I've smashed that out of the park. I'm done now. I don't need to do anything more. And I was like, hold the phone. This is the easy part. What we've just done is the easy part. And this has always been the weird dichotomy I found with that. And I don't know why I'm stuck on that word or dichotomy today, but that's a side note. But it's the weird thing about this process is, to be honest, delivering incredible fucking results like that is the easy part. Dropping weight, toning up, getting into great fucking shape, that is actually the easy part if you're all in, if you're committed. The hard part is building that into such a long-term habit that it just becomes who you are. The hard part is then following through long-term with that. That shit ain't easy. That's the shit that rocks you. That's the shit that takes accountability, that takes commitment, that takes follow-through to keep doing that work day in, day out. And I'm not immune to that. Like, I'm approaching 365 days of chasing greatness. A full fucking year. And do you know what the hardest part of that has been? Not doing the work. but not getting comfortable, not getting cocky, not getting, overconfident with myself about what is possible, where I'm at. Because it's really easy to slide back into old habits. It's so unbelievably easy to slip back into who you were and just rocking back to that person again. That's really, really fucking easy to do. And that's the work. Dropping the weight, getting into great shape, that's fantastic, but that's not the work. That's all, it's just par for the course. That's what we do. Of course we do that. The hard work, the real hard work, is actually following through for the long term, making this change a permanent change. I don't think that there is any greater skill, than any greater reward than making a change and making it permanently. We've spoken many times about how you must kill the old version of you. That you must end him. And for as long as you are holding on to who you used to be, you will not be able to truly step forward into the best version of you. For as long as you are stuck on rereading the last chapter, you can't read the next chapter. You have to end that version of you. And this is the pinnacle of that. At 20 kilos, losing 20 kilos is life-changing. Been there. The first iteration of 126 to greatness, the first time I ever worked this out, I lost 33 kilos in 126 days. It was life-changing. And even for me, the first time I created this, I was not ready to make it my whole personality. I wasn't ready to make this who I was. I wasn't ready to commit all in. It took me, if I'm going to be brutally honest, and I said that I was going to always be brutally honest in here, it took me another 2 years to get to a point where I'd established that enough that I was like, no, I need this to become who I am. And that's what happened. That I had to reestablish, I had to find a way to let go of the old me and truly, truly step into who I am. To be this version of myself. And this is a choice every single day. And some days, that's a fucking struggle. But that initial change, when motivation is high, when things are raring, when you're in the hurt locker, when, you look in the mirror and you're like, how the fuck did I end up here? When you hate that man in the mirror, when you got bigger boobs than your wife, when your stomach's hanging over your belt, when you can't, get up to do anything, you're ashamed to take your shirt off, all those kinds of things. When you're in that situation, it's fucking easy to make those changes. It's fucking easy to commit all in because, well, you hate that. You've hit rock bottom. Rock bottom is easy to bounce back up. You know what gets really hard is to continue past that point. That's when you really find out how committed you are. And don't get me wrong, I know that first step sucks. I know that it fucking sucks to actually admit and own that and that you're willing to change. That first step sucks like no one would believe. But once you've taken that first step, the motivation stays high while you're in that process. But once you get results, once you get the results that you've been dreaming of, you get to the point where you've achieved more than you thought possible. Then you look back and if you'd gone 12 months from now, you go, or even 6 weeks or 12 weeks and gone, man, if I could achieve those goals, I'd be stoked. And now you're going, well, I have, and now what do I do? And at that point, when people have achieved the goals, too many people go, good enough. Good enough. Terrible fucking phrase to ever come out of your mouth. Good enough. Because that's when you backslide. That's when you just well, let it all go. All that effort, all that work for naught. To just be like, well, that was good. Gonna go back to life as normal. What do you think's gonna happen at that situation? What do you think's gonna happen if you put in all this effort, that you change so much of your life, and then you're like, well, I'll just go back to normal now? Do you think you're gonna maintain those results? Absolutely fucking not. Of course you're gonna backslide. Of course you're gonna rebound. Potentially rebound even harder than where you were before. And this is the trap. And I say it frequently, but it's the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting a different result. This is the definition of insanity, that you changed massive aspects of your life and then you just bring them to a grinding halt and you're like, it'll be good. Won't need to stress. Like, crazy. And don't get it twisted, I said these things to this guy's face. We had this discussion. And he still decided that he was good. That he'd exceeded his goal by 4x. So he was happy, he was stoked. And now the hard part comes for me as a coach with this kind of situation. Because the hard part for me as a coach is, well, now I know what's coming. Now I know that the rebound is coming. That the weight gain will come back. That all the results, from the fat loss to the strength, to the cardiorespiratory, to all of that stuff, it'll disappear. And the question will become, when he hits that point again and it all starts to slip away, one, will he catch it early or will he let it slip too far? And two, will he be too proud to come back again? Because I've known people before. As I said, I've been doing this for an exceptionally long time. I've spent my entire adult life doing this, transforming people's lives. This is all I've ever known as an adult. Well, fuck, even before that, I was training people just for free since I was 15 years old. I'm turning 34 this year. So for nearly 20 years I have been doing this. Just obsessed with fitness, with health, with transformation, with chasing greatness, with all that kind of stuff. I know what's to come. And it's happened before that people have gotten incredible results. Because you can, especially if you are, let's be real, already overweight. Like, let's not sugarcoat it. If you're already overweight, it's you design a program and it's not hard to deliver exceptional results, especially for men. Just, you fucking do it and you follow through. And results will come. But what happens next is what truly matters. And it's why I think the accountability on the 12 months post the initial 6 weeks is actually more important. And to be honest, if I could just jump people straight to the 12 months, I probably would. But people need to see proof in the pudding first. They need to see how exceptional this program is. And especially for a lot of people, there is this weird, and it's weird, and I have it as well, so I'm not saying that you're a weirdo, I'm just saying it's a weird thing within our brains. But 12 months seems like an impossible length of time to commit to something. 12 months seems like too long, especially in big changes of life, to commit to something. So to jump straight to a 12-month program, people are like, fuck, no, I can't make that kind of commitment. But 6 weeks seems doable. But I would much prefer to jump people straight to the 12 months because that's the real change. The physical is just the tool to the real results, to making you the greatest version of yourself, to building discipline, to building grit and fortitude and focus and drive and determination, to a zero choice mentality, to being a man of your word. this is where the real bang for buck happens. Having a six-pack, having a great physique, being in great fucking shape, they're niceties. Don't get me wrong, they're great fucking niceties and something that's really important to other areas of your life. But they're there because they facilitate the other areas of your life. That's where you get the results. That's where you get your benefits. That's where you see the changes, because you transformed your body. And then that became the tool to allow everything else to transform. So when undertaking something like this, I know, for whatever reason, you can't straight off the bat be like, I'm going to commit for 12 plus months. But in the back of your head, you need to have that little conversation with yourself that if this goes well, which I'm going to put my, foot to the fire, it's going to go fucking well. If you do the work, unquestionably, is it going to go well for you? Unfucking questionably. Is it going to change your life? But commit to the 6 weeks, and you need to have that in the back of your head. Well, there's a good chance that when this goes well, I'm going to have to follow it up with another 12 months. And look, to be honest, I hope then it leads into a change for life. That it doesn't become a flash in a pan. This isn't just a momentary thing of I'm really going to step up and be the best version of myself. It's a actual long-term, I'm going to change for the better. I'm going to sacrifice the unimportant for the important. And I'm going to give up the things that don't truly matter so that I can lead the best fucking life possible. And it's one I keep coming back to, but I can't get past it. It isn't easy to make those decisions, but it's damn well important and invigorating and the best thing you can choose for your life. I cannot fathom people who are like, no, I would rather continue to choose the things that sedate me. My chocolate, my alcohol, my TV, my social media, whatever the fuck your sedation is, junk food, cake, pizza, whatever. I would rather continue to have that cheap dopamine, that sedation in my life, than give up to be the best version of myself. Give that up to live longer, to lead a happier life, to lead a better life. And it's one I'm having in my own family. It's one I've seen other, fathers make, other choice. But if you have children, if you have a partner, if you have a family, it is the most disrespectful thing that you could ever do. To continue to choose that, or as I said, to go back to it. To be like, I did the work, I'm good now, I don't need to do that anymore. I can just return to who I was and enjoying the things that I enjoyed. Every time you make that choice, you're like, I want you to think about it in this fashion. That choice to sedate, to have the cheap dopamine, to do things that aren't progressing you in the right direction and are actually derailing you and detracting from your life. And that doesn't mean forever, but it means when you do it regularly. I want you to think about it and go, I'm saying fuck you to my kids. I'm saying fuck you to my wife or my partner. I'm saying fuck you to my family and friends. That being around, being the best version of myself doesn't warrant enough for them, doesn't mean enough. They don't mean enough for me to give up the things that I like in my life. And that's a really harsh way of looking at it. But honestly, I think it's the truth. And you need to think about that, especially if you're choosing it on a regular basis. As you know, I allow 10 free days on the nutrition side every 126. But they are clear, deliberate choices. And they are usually for social benefit rather than mouthfeel. But if you can't give up the things in life that mean fuck all, so that you can just sedate yourself and choose to continue living life the way you find is the easiest, I want you to think about that. And every single time you're just flipping off your family. You're just saying, fuck you guys. You don't matter enough to me to warrant giving up things that I enjoy that do not serve me. And I'm sure I'll cop some backlash for that. And that's okay. But we are given these gifts in life. Family, children, partners, friends and family. We are given these blessings in this life. And that means making choices to be around for them. Making choices to be the best versions of ourselves for them. It's a gift. It's an honor. It's a blessing. And it needs to be treated as such. Not just treated as something that we're entitled to, that should just always be there. And we should act like it. Your health is your wealth. And if you aren't willing to sacrifice things that truly don't bring any enjoyment or great benefit to your life for the majority of the time, then I think you really need to step back and start questioning, well, how important this is to you. How important those people are to you. And what is the true value of your life? As I've said it before and I'll say it again, if chocolate is the highlight of your fucking life, or alcohol, or pizza, or cake, or sugar, or whatever it is, well, maybe it's time to take a seriously hard fucking look at your life and start questioning what is the point of it all. Because you have more of value in your life, but you're choosing not to see it. And that's a sad, sad fucking reality. It's time to wake up and see the blessings that you've been blessed with and the blessings that you are squandering by making these choices. And it's not easy. It's not going to be fun. In fact, it's going to be fucking brutal. But what you gain on the other side of that, that's priceless. So now if you are ready for that, to take the right actions, to face those demons and to see who you can become on the other side, shoot me a message. Let's get you into Chasing Greatness Daily. Let's start the process and see who you can become on the other side. Now, if you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, as always, if this spoke to you, if you enjoyed it, if you know someone who needs to hear this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button, because the majority of people who are watching this are not subscribed. And I need your help. And I want to help you. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single one of these things. Because like everything in Chasing Greatness, I am here every single day. And I don't want you to miss one, because I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.